Hi all, it's Monday. You've made it again to another week, but it's a special Monday. It's Memorial Day, and I was just, it's interesting because I think because we have so much time right now, we're able to focus on Memorial Day a little bit more this year. I don't know, at least for me, that in my case. But what was really on my heart, what's very important actually, I've done a lot of study on this and research on this, is our veterans and how important they are, and then the suicide rate among our veterans. Personally, in my own life, in our family, we have lost my cousin very young to suicide after coming home from overseas. So I wanted to share with you some statistics, and I don't mean to be a bummer. I am just bringing awareness today to shine a light on Memorial Day. We are remembering those who gave their lives for us, including those that have committed suicide because it's been so they didn't have enough help when they got back. I'm hoping that makes sense. So this is the number of veteran suicides each year. 6,000, and that's every year. And this is statistics based from 2008 to 2017. In 2005, an average of 16 veterans per day committed suicide. And then in 2017, an average of 17. Many of the reasons for suicide are economic. So difficulties from transitioning to a different job, to a civilian job, not being able to provide. Homelessness. In 2017, 40,000 veterans were homeless. And I'm sure those numbers have risen. Isolation, being isolated, especially when coming back from overseas, not having anybody to talk to, not having anybody to be around with, not having family or friends. And then health. They come back, a lot of them, they've seen things that us civilians can never understand, and they felt things that us civilians can never comprehend. And they come back with PTSD and sleep disorders, traumatic brain injury, pain, and then mental health diagnosis. These are all the reasons that these young men and women, our servicemen and women, commit suicide. I'll put this down in the box below, but this is the Veterans Crisis Line and then the text line. So I'll put that there just for a few moments. But there are a lot of resources out there. And then one of the biggest things that I've read over and over and over and over, especially when dealing with mental health of our service people, early intervention. It is huge. It can be effective in treating combat-related PTSD through psychotherapy and medication. Early intervention means as soon, even when they're there, or as soon as they get back, like intervening with that, them finding counseling, being given opportunities for counseling, being given opportunities for seeing doctors without shame, without blame. So that's our biggest thing. And it was hard to learn that my cousin felt like he had no other choices. And I do believe that he gave his life for our country. I believe every serviceman or woman who is so drowned out by what they've seen and what they've been through and have taken their lives, they have given their lives for this country in a different way. In a way that's unseen, and in a way that to some people may seem shameful. What is the shame is that there's not enough help for these people. That is the shame. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to the families out there who are fighting this fight, who have lost your loved ones to suicide and are fighting. They're fighting to get more therapy out there. They're fighting to get more interventions. They're fighting to get early interventions. They're fighting to get therapists over where they're at, or fighting to get therapists back on base. Thank you to those families. Thank you to those people. Thank you to the servicemen and women who have been there, been in that suicidal thoughts and they've gotten help. Thank you for being voices and serving our country. And then thank you again to the families who, for all reasons, have lost family members. I wonder, I know, at least for myself, I don't wonder, I know that I often take our freedoms for granted. As I'm sitting here and I'm looking out at this wide space, this blue sky, this river right here, my dog right here, this would not be possible without the deaths and without the sacrifices of those who fight for our freedom, fight for our country, fight for this beautiful area, fight that we can come out and do this. So thank you. And I know this is a sobering one today, but I want it to also be encouraging. I want it to be empowering. If you have a heart for these veterans, if you have a heart for learning more about how to prevent suicide for these veterans, there are things that you can do. Research, go on Google, Veteran Crisis Hotline, go on to Veterans Information Lines. There are things that you can do, or just understanding. That's one of the biggest things. As civilians, it can be difficult for us to understand, but the more that we get educated, the more that we understand how difficult and hopeless it can seem to some of our vets who come back with PTSD or with traumatic brain injuries, with other issues coming back. So I wanted to share that with you today, and then I also wanted to share when I heard that he had passed away. Psalms 38:18, and every time I research or write about the mental health issues in the military or suicide in the military, Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. As many of you have faced trauma and gone through trauma, and it can be very discouraging, frustrating, and annoying when people offer biblical platitudes and say that, oh, God is there and you'll get better. God will make you better. In the midst of trauma, even after trauma, for me at least, what I needed to hear, I didn't need to hear that things were going to get better. I needed to hear that someone heard me and someone was beside me. And that's why I love this verse. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And I believe so much that that is the cry and the prayer for those who struggle with depression, that struggle with issues, even in the military or not. But I wanted to share that with you today, and I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who have sacrificed, or family members that have sacrificed. Thank you. So let's do a little breathing. We'll do a few breaths, and if you need more breathing, then go ahead and go to another video for longer breathing, or some grounding maybe. That might be good. Tomorrow I'm going to do a longer grounding video, or maybe later today. There will be a longer grounding video on pretty soon. So maybe sitting or standing, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Let's go and roll our shoulders. Good, and roll them forward. And again, sit it up tall. Let's inhale and sweep our arms towards the sky. And then exhale and press that down. And inhale and lift this up. And exhale and press it down. And inhale and lift it up. And exhale and press this down. Maybe drop our chin to chest. Lift that head center, looking over to one side, looking over to the other side. Bringing this back to center. Let's inhale. Thanks. Inhale it deep. Thank you. And exhale, freedom for freedom. Inhale, thanks. Thank you. And exhale, freedom for freedom. And again, inhale, thanks. And exhale, freedom for freedom. So again, I know that it was heavier today, but I believe that it's something that needs, that we are strong enough to be able to deal with, process, work through, and pray for. So, as civilians. Again, I have the description, or in the description box down below, I have resources, helplines for you veterans out there that are struggling with depression, or if you have a family member or know a veteran that is struggling with depression, with other things going on in their lives. Please use those helplines. That's what they're there for. So thank you for joining me today. I pray and hope that you have a blessed day and that you are able to maybe even spend time with your family, and if not, that you're able to rest, you're able to focus, and you're able to ground today. You've got this day, you've got this week. And somebody asked me, they're like, what is that breathing in the background? It's Zeke. Whenever you hear the panting in the background, it's the dogs. They're just right here. So, and don't worry, they get water, they get all of the stuff. I'm always afraid that people are gonna be like, you're so mean to your dogs. The river's right here, and they can go put their feet in, and then we have tons of water bottles, and they're drinking water all day. So I wanted to share that with you. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.